to our unapologetic era. What'd you lose?
My mind? No. I was making fun of myself for my bottom pants because I'm like, what am I wading through water later? Is it going to flood? I'm like sitting, and so it's like making me look.
All I want to say is shout out to the OOTD because this was the first thing that I grabbed whenever I was leaving today.
And you're better than me. Like, I'm holding on to the last part of winter, and I'm like, I am not wearing shorts.
No, I fought it today. Like, everything, I was like, that's too springy. That's too springy. That's too springy. Oh, well, it's going to be
Save that other
springy.
stuff for other times.
Yeah. It is what it is. Today we were going to talk about some interesting things. Last time we had talked about the PMDD and how, was it Pepsid that could help?
Oh, the histamine and
Yeah,
all
the
the blocks and
histamines
all that
and
kind of stuff.
how it
Yeah.
can even maybe possibly affect PTSD. And I had told you, I said, I realized through all of that, we're talking about PMDD and stuff. Okay, so guys will do this thing where they're like, "Are you about to start your period? Is that what's wrong with you?" And then you get mad, and you're like, "Wait, hold on a second. Can't you just be accountable for being a jackass instead of like blaming it on my period?" And I had someone ask me literally this morning because I was saying I just don't feel good, like something's off, and they said, "Are you about to start your period?"
Always a mad association for a woman. What if I said that? What?
Wait, so that's what, then he realized what he said, and he goes, "I don't understand why y'all don't know." And I said, "Let me tell you something. I have always known. I have had the most regular cycle since I first got an iPhone because I started tracking it with an app. I still have the same app from the iPhone 3 that I've been using." And I said, I know exactly how, like, but all of a sudden, in the last, like, 6 months, everything is turned upside down. And it's hormonally, I am a total disaster. It is a hurricane in there. So I told him to fuck off. Excuse me. But I told him to fuck off. And then I said, you know what? You know what this makes me think of? It makes me think of that time that I almost died. And even my doctor didn't believe me. But most importantly, my partner didn't believe me and kept telling me I just need to drink more water. I really did almost die. Yeah.
Tell me the story. I need to wait.
So 2019, the doctor was like, "You were 2 weeks, you'd have been dead." So 2019, I started having lower abdominal pain, and I couldn't go to the bathroom. I can't believe I'm telling this story for other people to hear now that I'm saying it out loud.
Suck it up, spit it out.
Yeah, but I couldn't go to the bathroom, and I've never had an issue with that either. So I was like, this is strange. Also, my partner at the time was not a bathroom talker. Like, we didn't talk about, like,
regular.
He ran the water whenever so this was not a comfortable subject for us.
Yeah, okay.
And but I was like, something's wrong. And I was like, I can't go to the bathroom, and I had fever, and I had really bad lower abdominal pain, and
The blockage of something's happening.
well, he's like, first he was like, you need to eat better, and you need to drink more water, and I was like, okay, you're a jerk. Something else that doesn't cause fever. And he was like, well, then you need to go to the doctor, which he was right. I did need to go to the doctor. So I did. I went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, and I even told her, because I went to my gynecologist, and I said, I'm probably in the wrong place. I probably need to go see a general doctor or a gastro something or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, but you're the doctor that I see the most regular, so I wanted to start here. And she was like, no, I'm so glad you came here because it's definitely a cyst. You definitely have a cyst on your ovary. We're going to do, I think they did a sonogram because it was I think it was an outside one. Anyway, they did the tests.
For those of y'all don't know, and men, I wish y'all fucking knew this. There's a wand they stick up your vagina to do an ultrasound if they need to.
It is like this long.
It is not just, let's go get a sonogram and squirt some gel on it. No, they put a condom on the damn thing.
It's got a big condom.
And they shove it up there.
And I'm not kidding y'all. It's like this long, and it goes from fat to skinny.
Yep.
And it's cold. And they squeeze the stuff on it. And it's like just sitting on the top, and you're just sitting there. And it's the most degrading thing ever. And we do it over and over again. But anyway, they took the pictures with the wand. Uh-huh. She took the pictures with the wand. And she goes, yep. Completely right. You got a cyst on that ovary. And she's like, there's nothing we can do for it. So we're just going to wait for it to either burst.
Ooh, that's painful.
Exactly. We're going to wait. Or your body will just reabsorb it. So I'm like, okay, this sucks. probably needed to drink more water. And so, yeah. And so I go home and tell the partner, I'm like, this is what's going on. And they're like, you probably should drink more water. And then it just kept getting worse and I couldn't go to the bathroom. And it was getting to the point where I was now crying when I was trying to go to the bathroom. Not only was I crying, but this is when the, what are they called? The poop stools.
Oh, yeah.
They were just getting popular. Like, everybody was buying them. Everybody had them. So I was like, I'm making my own at the house because I couldn't buy one. So I made my own. Like, I was doing everything. All the remedies. I was doing massages. I was doing yoga for gastro stuff. Like, everything I could think of. And I had 2 children and had never done an enema. And I was doing enemas. And nothing was coming out. Nothing was coming out. So I knew something was very wrong. So also the fever really freaked me out. So I went back to the doctor and I was like, this is not getting better. And she was like, it's just a cyst. Your fever is something else. That's not an us problem. That's a you problem. You need to work out somewhere else. And I was like,
your PCP.
But I was like, I'm taking 4 200 milligram Advil every 4 hours. And I've been doing it for over a month. And it's keeping the fever down and it's keeping the pain down.
Yeah, until you get stomach ulcers. Shit.
I didn't even care. Like, I knew how, because I think you're supposed to wait 6 hours and 800 milligrams is a lot. But I did not care at the time.
600 milligrams every 8 hours
Also, I'm like, I didn't have a salary job and I worked in retail. So I was on my feet. I had to go to work. And so I couldn't be sick. So let's say it started in like April, this whole process started. September rolls around and I go back again. So all of this time I'm not pooping.
Oh my Jesus.
Not pooping. Have a full on distended stomach, like complete, which by the way, I was actually like, because I was drinking so much water and I was exercising and eating healthy, I was tightening up real good except for the Santa belly that I had going on. Like, I literally looked pregnant. I really did. And it was hard. And everybody just kept telling me to try to put my legs in a different position. Like, it was the weirdest thing. Like, nobody was giving me any credit. So finally the doctor goes, you know what? You're just like, it's not bursting. It's not reabsorbing. And you're at the end of the year. Your deductibles, going to be met. Do you want to just have surgery and have it taken out? And I said, yeah, I do. Because I'm miserable. Like, I really was miserable. And so we go in, and I even remember my partner was like, how long is this going to take? Because I have some work to do this afternoon.
Of course you did.
Yeah. So
way too familiar.
I just want to say that's how not serious I was being taken. And I was sucking it up. I was 100% sucking this shit up. And
That's what men do.
I was working. I was doing all the way through it. But it wasn't just the men. Like, the doctor wasn't supporting me either. Like, the doctor was like, everybody gets cysts. And I'm like, okay. So she goes in and she does the surgery. And I remember I woke up. And when I woke up out of surgery, I remember someone telling me that they were taking me to the oncology unit. And it was an in-out surgery. So I should have been going home. Yeah, I should have been going home. And I learned something about myself. I don't come out of anesthesia nice. I'm pretty pissy when I come out of anesthesia. So I told that nurse she was wrong and I needed to go home. And she was like, no, dear. She's like, the doctor's going to come talk to you. Like, you're not going anywhere for a long time. And I was like, what in the world is going on? Long story short, when she went in, there was a huge mass that had grown and attached itself to my right ovary and my rectum, and I had 80% blockage of my rectum. And I had been backed up since May, and it was September in my stomach. And she was like, you were this close to being septic. And she did end up, I did lose my right ovary. Thank God she didn't do a full hysterectomy, but that's a side story. But when she came in and she was like, I saved your left ovary so you can have a baby, my mother lost her mind. But anyway, that's a different story. So, but anyway, I remember waking up and I remember seeing my partner in the room and him being like, I took off work today. Still, again, not really being taken seriously. But yeah, she didn't know what was wrong with me. Come to find out, long story short, because even when I went back for my 1 week checkup, I still was running fever. I was still having issues. It was a strange bacteria that usually is only associated with people who have lung cancer and is found in their lungs. And and it had attacked my ovary and it was growing. She was for sure it was cancer because it was a living cell that was growing. So when she saw it, she was like, she's got cancer, like all in her abdomen. And, but it wasn't. It was this weird bacteria. And
I have a side note. I'm going to throw this out there. Because I think really weird shit all the time, right?
this was weird. So yeah.
Well, so if it comes from your lungs.
It didn't come from my lungs.
Not your lungs. I'm
No.
saying, what if someone went down on you that had this bacteria in their mouth, breathing out, and went down on you, and then caused a growth inside of you from that?
So she explained it to me as it's caused by some sort of medication that's used to fight the cancer. Whatever medication, like I'm not gonna say chemo because I don't know if that, but it was something along those lines. She was like, it's a side effect of something that happens usually with people with lung cancer from medication. Yeah, and the type of bacteria that it was, and she was like, I cannot figure out why in the world it's down in your female area attacking, your body or whatever.
That's why you don't sit on toilet seats, people.
And so I was like, I'm literally sitting there thinking, I've missed 2 weeks of work now. Because I was in that type of situation at my house. I was like, I've missed 2 weeks of work, and you're telling me I'm not going to start feeling better? And she was like, I don't know. I'm not sure yet what's wrong with you. But all I did was basically save your life. And then she said she had to go back to the boards and talk to them. Come to find out it was my IUD, my Paragard. And it was very, very rare thing to happen, but it was possible that the Paragard caused it. And she wouldn't, when she figured it out and I went into the office, she said, you're not leaving this office with that in there. It's going to keep growing back as long as it's in there.
Shit.
By the way, I had the Paragard for 4 years, no problems. None.
Just one little nippet of a bacteria.
So that's something I don't know. I don't know what could have triggered it to become a problem. I actually kind of am interested in that now. I want to figure that out.
They won't tell you. No one
No,
ever.
they're not going to tell me. I'm going to have to do my own research. But I'm wondering if it had anything to do with a partner.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, no, but could it have been could something have been, as you were saying, but could something have been passed to me that caused the Paragard to give my body this reaction? So now I'm curious about that. But yeah.
This is a complete, total side note. And this is what made me think of this is because I had a partner that went down on me, but he was withdrawing from cigarettes, so he was taking nicotine gum.
Did it burn you or something?
Like, it caused like a reverse reaction to turning into a BV infection. And so that's what made me think.
The whole BV thing, women fight it I feel like we fight it weekly. Right. For every reason under the sun. And then some people are looked down upon it, or some men specifically, because they don't understand it, will be like, oh, you have bacterial, vaginitis. And I'm like, literally, every other week, I probably do something to get rid of it. I don't know. I could have bathed in water. Yeah, I'm like, I could have bathed and I shouldn't have bathed. I sat in the water too long.
Yeah, you went in a hot tub.
Mm-hmm.
You just never fucking know. Mm-hmm. But it's so crazy, this story that you have. Because, I've been on fucking medical roller coaster for 4 years, and I've gotten to the point where every time I go to a new doctor, I have on my phone, I have to scroll up 3 times. It's dated.
Poor children.
It's dated of everything that started, the date it started, and it's just pages of.
Do you have a gallon-sized baggie that you bring with you of medication?
Pretty much. I just throw it in my purse.
We used to do that with my nanny. We grab her bag.
Yeah.
And it had notes in it.
I just type it now. You don't have to carry the whole bag anymore. You just type and put it in.
Yeah, they would. Then when before Nanny passed away, I remember my aunt and my mom just had all the notes in their phone.
Yeah, yeah. But I think what we're trying to say is the point of not being recognized as women.
Nobody took me seriously, even the woman who treats women. She was like, it's just a cyst. And it wasn't until she opened me up. And she wasn't even it wasn't even she was like, I need to go in and look. She was like, you're at your deductible. You might as well just go in and take it out. So she still wouldn't have been. Also, a year later, when I went for my checkup, she was like, you want to do some birth control? And I was like, I almost died from it. Remember, you took it out of me. She's like, oh, yeah. She's a great doctor. But clearly doesn't know one patient to the other. Yeah, so it still didn't it still wasn't on the forefront of her mind is my point.
Jesus Christ. I know they see hundreds and hundreds of people and deliver 1 million babies that's just, but still.
She did deliver one of my babies, yeah. It was... It's not normal for a person to live with fever from day to day. And I knew that. I knew that wasn't normal. And it's still like... I remember the nurse being on the phone and being like, hey, baby, I just, that fever, it doesn't have anything to do with this. And I'm like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but can you just listen to me? And she's like, oh, no, ma'am. Like, oh, I called you in a blah, blah, blah. You'll be good. And I'm like...
I literally had that, not to, because my past 4 years have been a fucking nightmare medically to something that started so simple and people write off as, oh, it's a woman thing and you're totally fine, to it eventually leading up to me being hospitalized with bacterial meningitis.
Yeah.
And if someone had recognized it 3 years ago but the meningitis thing is just one of those things that happens. It wasn't a build up to that,
But did you have a compromised immune system that caused the...
Right. And I'm still on this fucking rabbit hole of a mess of things that are happening. I've had 2 neurologists. My PCP I haven't changed is great. I'm now on to an allergist. And finally, to the point, after 4 years, an allergist was finally like, you know what? We're going to start testing you for autoimmune diseases. And I'm like, thank you. Because I've been screaming MS for fucking 4 years.
I think a lot of things are getting worse, too.
Yeah.
Just our environment. Like, it feels like the more we scream organic, the more toxic our environments become.
Right.
And we don't realize how many things we ingest every day that over time can cause you to have...
Or the freaking Bath and Body. Well, I don't want to go with that, but I'm just saying the lotions we put on our body.
Yeah,
I've been putting the same lotion on for my body since I was 12 years old.
Baby powder. I've been putting baby powder. Okay, yes, I baby powder my spray tan clients, and I'm so sorry, but I've been breathing it in for 18 years. For 18 years, when I powder your butt, I breathe it in, and now there's a whole lawsuit on baby powder being cancerous. And at this point, I'm like, just look, if I'm already, when they open me up, they're going to be like, whoa, why is her whole inside orange?
But I'll tell you, too, is also the thing is, because we've talked about this before, and I spend a decent amount of time in other countries or in Europe, and I come back, especially this past time when we spent a full month there, I had no symptoms of anything I'd been having for the past 4 years. Completely clear skin, body,
because the foods don't have all the antibiotics and steroids.
I was a completely different person returning from when I left over that month period,
and then probably slowly felt it decline again.
Yeah, and now I'm back. It's been how long is it?
With that being said, I'm gonna kind of answer this for you, but I would put money on it that your stress level is a lot less when you're there. Because it's temporary. It's not like you're not living there, so it's a little bit vacation mode. So you can kind of just put your main stressors that bog you down here.
I wish I could say yes, but no, because I still work there. It's just a different time zone.
And you don't always have all the kids together, too.
Yeah, I may have 3 instead of 4, or something like that. But still all the same things, but it's just like
our water's got stuff in it.
Yeah, but I lived screaming, and luckily, thank God for you, and they found that, in a 6-month period before something major happened. But it's like I've been screaming on top of a fucking mountain for 4 years of all these things happening, and I'm like, I won't even, when I schedule an appointment for a doctor now, I send them my list from the date things started to where I currently am, so they can all have the full picture.
You want to know what's interesting about you saying that? Because you should, and that's what everyone needs someone to, if they can't do it themselves and advocate for themselves, they need somebody that can do that. That brings me to like the Gypsy Rose thing, though. Like her mom did that for her. She was her advocate. She brought everything to the doctors, but she was lying about all of it. But the doctors went through it, and they're like, okay, you got blah, 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 so we're going to treat you like this. And no, she didn't have that stuff.
Yeah, that shit. No, and I've learned that in fucking therapy, is that you got to advocate for yourself, because you're just going to stand on top of a mountain screaming, and nobody's listening. And no one's listening.
That's what was happening with my poop.
Yep.
Like, nobody was listening, and I was dying. I was dying.
And you're such a petite person to be such
there's pictures.
Yeah. It's just
there are pictures, and it's like, whoa. And every now and again it'll still pop up like on my memories, and I'm like, told y'all. I sent you the picture when I took it. Fools. But when they emptied me out, man, I was skinny. Because I've been eating good, exercising, drinking lots of water.
Just got to drink that
and
water.
I felt full all the time.
But it's the point of not being heard as a woman that it's always blown off as, oh, it's your hormones. Oh, it's the changes. Oh, it's perimenopause. Oh, like, no, it's fucking not.
You just did it a little while ago, and I was like, I hadn't been feeling good. You were like, is that perimenopause?
See? We even do it to each other.
But I really do, and this is what I was telling my friend this morning. Like, I have always been very aware of my cycle and how it affects my mood. And yes, there are definite times whenever I will lash out or snap, but I know as soon as I do it, there's a different feeling from just something happening in life that's causing me to be mad. It's like a gut feeling, and I'm like, ooh, that was hormonal. And I'm going to back it up now, and I'll be aware of it. I also realized I learned that before it got messed up, every other month, my PMS was worse.
Mm-hmm.
Even after one of my ovaries was gone. So I was still ovulating on the same ovary every month. Dang. But I know, isn't that weird?
It is weird.
And every other month, and so when I had a good month, it'd be like, oh, next month's going to be bad. So I'd have like a full 10-day PMS where I'm just like, and then a nice.
So you've been experiencing perimenopause for because that's what happens. Like your body will start.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, it's been doing that I've been doing that for a long time.
You should be fine in menopause then.
I've been having night sweats since I was pregnant with maybe Eli. And he's 20. But, yeah. So, and I never went back. Like, I was a cold-blooded person. Like, I'm always cold. Never, after that first pregnancy, went back to being a cold person again. I don't have night sweats all the time. But when I have more hormonal fluctuations, yeah, I'll have to get up and change clothes.
I wish people would give us a little more grace.
I wish they would figure out a way to balance it. Do you
think it's better now? Because I know with all my doctors now, everything's in one system. So I'll go to my PCP and then they'll be like, oh, I saw neurology did this, and they can see everything in one place now.
That's supposed to be a good thing.
But it's not for me currently. But
I will say that I just recently had a situation where my medication that I take, my ADHD medication, which obviously you have to have it recalled in every month, and my doctor couldn't see me, and you have to be seen often too, and so I used a doctor in the group. Mm-hmm. When I called my doctor to fill me again, she was like, I didn't see you.
What?
And I was like, well, hold on a second, I'm not even sure what the name of the other one was, because I was just seeing them.
A little doop and find it for me.
it was kind of an ordeal, and that's what I'm saying, it's all right, I had an app, and I still was having issues, and I ended up kind of having to do a little code, you call it in, and I scheduled an appointment. Now I'm going to see you this month.
There's more, what's crazy is there's more research and data on erectile dysfunction than there are women's hormones.
Without a doubt.
And it's like I'm over here screaming.
I saw a very controversial TikTok yesterday.
Oh, tell me.
Because it was this woman, come to find out it was a chiropractor, but there was this woman saying that men contribute more to the birthing process than we give them credit for. So, if a man's sperm isn't healthy, if there's not sperm count, lots of them, but even the ones you have are good, strong swimmers, that actually plays a lot more into that very beginning of the pregnancy. They'll say that we miscarry, and they're like, well, it really could have been because of his sperm. If he had
genetic,
if he had a weak swimmer that was swimming in, it ain't your fault that it didn't stick. That swimmer he was a dud. So, and if he got in, that means there's a lot of duds. But her whole point was that it's wrong that all of that's put on us. And that they do have more scientific contribution than just dumping in.
Oh, absolutely. Well, for me, it's different because my first 3 kids are from first marriage. Mm-hmm. 4th baby is from my second. And I will 100% agree with you on that. Is that genetically.
You notice a difference, huh?
I noticed 100% difference in my pregnancy. The baby size.
Yep.
I'm delivering a fucking 11-pound baby, and then I have another baby with another man, and here's your 7.5-pound baby. I'm like, where's my baby? Like
size people know that. Like they are like, yeah, he makes big babies. But but it's the whole genetic thing. Just I hate it. Please don't hate me for comparing us to litters of dogs. But whenever they breed dogs and they like go down the lines, the bloodlines, they're like, this puppy is from this bloodline. Why wouldn't it be the same for us too? If you have a healthy bloodline in males, why wouldn't that?
have some stud men, is what you're talking about.
Yeah, like why would
the healthy ones?
But if you go and you hooking up with the meth guy on the corner, you're gonna get. You're gonna be missing or having extra chromosomes or missing some chromosomes. Like, it's just, like you're asking for trouble.
Right.
They still can make them, but they're not making good ones.
I had a comment on that.
Everyone's heart is good. No, that the comments under this.
Like, we're gonna stud out men like horses. Like,
no, that's what a sperm bank is. That's literally what a sperm bank is. And they do test the sperm to see how healthy they are. And so when you go into a sperm bank and you catalog through it, you catalog through not just their looks and how smart they are, but it says, like,
genetically.
Family
history of addiction, family history of depression, family history of.
I had a guy that I'm acquaintances with that his fiance is 40. She's freezing her eggs. And he said that he had to give a sample. And I was like, why you got to give a sample? And he goes, well, they just want to check and see how healthy. And I was like, hell yeah. I was like, you go dump that off. Let's find out. That poor girl's going through, because she had to go through all the hormonal stuff to produce them and then pull them. And,
right.
Which I did say, who's going to carry those babies? So those eggs she's freezing.
I was thinking it, but
But he said, yeah, I got it. And I said, good. I'm really glad because I feel like that gets overlooked a lot. Because he's going to be the contributing factor. They weren't saving it. They just wanted to check it. Just make sure it was healthy.
Health check.
And I think if I understood all the controversial comments, I think that men can kind of change it's not like it's something you're just born with.
Oh, no, because they're reproducing constantly. That's like women are born with a certain
So if they
amount
take care of their bodies, their sperm will be healthy.
And, I mean, you've seen my second husband.
He should have made the bigger baby.
No, but he's the healthier person. So was a larger baby overcompensating for other genetic efficiencies?
Ooh, I never thought about that.
And then I have a healthier person with a healthier sized baby.
So that's a very average, healthy sized baby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It probably wasn't hard.
Easiest pregnancy ever. I shouldn't have an easy pregnancy when I'm 39 years old and I've already
That's also what they said in the comments. They were mamas and they were saying I had 2 different baby daddies. Same exact thing you're saying. And they're like, the pregnancies were completely different.
Oh, deliveries also. I mean, I had one where I broke my tailbone. That was the first one.
Fun.
Without epidural, by the way.
I've done that before, but not giving birth.
Yeah, giving birth. Second one, she was so damn big. She broke her clavicle coming out.
I didn't know she was a big baby. They're not big now.
No, my smallest baby was 9 pounds. I mean, that was my first one without an epidural. What was I thinking? And then the third one was so damn big. He was 11 pounds. They had to go in and get him.
Oh, yeah. My second one didn't want to come out. I shouldn't have had a vaginal birth at all. The first, they called it like a vaginal C-section. And I apparently I suck at giving birth. But
you're tiny.
Well, they just didn't want to come out. The first one didn't want to come out. They had to use suction to get him out. And a complete episiotomy. And then my younger one, he just kept flipping himself. Like I'd push him down. And
that fits his personality now, though.
So much. And she would go, all the way up to here inside of me and flip him over. And then I'd push and he'd flip himself back over. And after about 3 hours of pushing, she goes, we can keep doing this if you want to. But I'm going to tell you right now, he's not going to stop flipping, and I'd like to go take him out. And so I let her, which I will say in hindsight, I do, because he wasn't in distress. She was just tired. I was tired. And I think that's like a standard point that they start saying, do you want to keep doing this? Yeah.
Right.
And I wish I had pushed through because now that I've done both vaginal and C-section, the C-section lovers, I get it. Y'all love it. But no.
Me too.
Push it through where it's supposed to go through.
Yep.
And it heals itself faster. Because guess what? If you cut it out, everything still happens down there. Everything still, it still does the diaper stuff and everything. And I got cut open.
I will tell people ask me, and I don't want to give them horror stories because mine are horrible birth stories. Just all of them are horrible except the last one. But I don't want to tell them. I don't want to tell them like, here's your fucking reality. But I will say, and I do tell them, is my natural birth without an epidural was the easiest to heal from out of all of them.
Yep, that's what that's what I've heard.
I tell them like,
up moving around like hours later.
Yes, just don't do any of it if you can avoid it.
Yeah.
But I won't ever tell them my computer.
My partner, my baby daddy, was a bigger weenie than me whenever I was giving birth, because as soon as they were allowed to give me an epidural, he was like, yeah, give it to her. And I wanted to keep going. Like, I was like, let's see how far I can go. And he's like, no, like, give her the epidural. Like, I don't. And I'm sensitive to it. So it worked well, but it worked really well. And
your body doesn't metabolize, from what you're telling me the two stories, your body doesn't metabolize anesthesia appropriately.
No, I was pretty angry after I had my section. I was very angry because I was hungry. Because remember, they induced me, and then I pushed for 3 hours, and then they cut me open, and then they said, we're going to get you some chicken broth. And I was like, there will be McDonald's French fries in my
health.
There will be McDonald's French fries. Oh, and I had all these plans for my second one. I was like, I want the skin to skin right away, and I'm gonna start breastfeeding right away, and then I want y'all to take the umbilical cord and everything, and we're gonna save it. That all went out the window when they cut me open, and I couldn't even talk because I was so drugged. I remember telling the anesthesiologist, I said, I can't feel myself breathing, and she goes, you're talking, you're fine.
You know, that's crazy. That just tells me, because when my fourth baby, she looked at me, she's like, are you before I couldn't say anything, she's like, you're having a hard time breathing. I said, yes, let me give you something.
Yeah, because you weren't talking.
Well, she was like looking at me, she's like, you're struggling, huh? I'm like, yeah. But that's funny, the difference in the perspective of you got one and I got the other. That was like instantly like, this is not okay.
It scared the living daylights out of me that I couldn't feel. Mm-hmm. Like I was like, I think I'm doing the motion, but I'm not sure if I am. Right. And it was scary. It was an anxiety thing at that point. And then the shakes from the anesthesia were so bad for me. I'm not a huge anesthesia fan, but yeah, apparently I'm not nice. I'm not like a dude where I come up swinging, but like, I'm hungry. You better give me some food.
I came out swinging. I'm the same way. I don't metabolize anesthesia appropriately, so I have to have only certain kinds of anesthesia. Mm-hmm. And I come out swinging.
I would rather have that problem though than the ones that it won't take.
Oh, the redheads.
Because I got lots to say. My grandmother was a redhead, so I can talk badly about them. And she never had an epidural. Those boogers just fell right out.
Must be. All right, we've had some very womanly episodes lately, so. Apparently, our viewership is 99% men. Sorry, dudes.
Well, but they should understand what we're really dealing with, and from somebody who they don't have to be pissed off at, or vice versa.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is it for this next episode, guys. Thanks for joining us. Subscribe.
Yeah, please do.
Love you. Bye.